Ladies and gentlemen, this is a video I've been wanting to film for a while, and it honestly could not be coming at a better time. I'm going to be getting a lesson from Eric Cogorno. His channel is in the description below. He has a really big YouTube following. A lot of you guys may have heard of him. Great guy. I've been talking to him for quite a while now. I actually haven't had an in-person lesson in probably a year and a half at least. Is the intro better with Gilbert? Oh, there's a ceiling fan. He hates ceiling fans.
Oh, no.
Oh boy. There's going to be a part 2 on his channel, and he's gonna kind of dive into why I pause in my swing and how it may help you guys at home. And he's gonna do a better job describing it than I would. So if I were you, I'd go watch that video, go subscribe to his channel. Yeah, in this video, it's coming at a great time. My golf game has been a little shaky recently. And some of these videos you guys have been watching, a lot of this will come before a lot of the videos that we filmed before this. So this one we're gonna get out pretty quickly, but there's gonna be some golf videos I'm posting in the next couple of weeks, and you'll see that I'm just not striking at the best, you know, focusing so much on the content side of things, which is okay, but I'm gonna start to balance two a lot better. Getting an editor, filmer, like all that stuff, it's taking more off my plate. Hopefully you guys enjoy this content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy the video. We have Eric Cogorno to my left. Nice to be here, Eric. We've been in contact for a while now. Eric's helped me out with my swing a little bit. Link for his channel will be in the description. There will be a part 2 to this video where Eric will go over some of the specifics with my swing, some drills, stuff like that. Because there's some wrong right now. This lesson's coming at a very good time. I've been struggling with my ball striking a little bit recently, but yeah, Eric, what do you think? I mean, you've seen my swing. What do you think you can work on today?
Obviously, you're an elite ball striker. Like I told Ben before, you're probably in like the .001. So the issues he has in his swing are probably the things a lot of you guys are going to want in your swing we're going to go over. But there's some little things. I think there's some little things in there that we can dial in, some of the iron play and driver play, so it'll be fun. For sure. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, anytime that I can try and improve my golf game. That's what I still want to do. I still want to play pro golf for a living, guys. I know social media gets in the way of that sometimes, but we're here. We're taking it serious. Let's have a good lesson. Let's see what's going on. Why don't we hit like maybe 3 or 4 shots? Let me grab a couple of videos just to see what's going on.
Okay.
We'll talk a little bit about what you've been struggling with a little bit and work our way through. And so as of recent, some kind of push hook?
Yeah, you know, I've kind of talked about this. A lot of these guys might know this, but I do struggle with getting a little under the plane. I started pausing for that reason, because it kind of helped it right away. When I used to do the pause drill, I got more on plane for sure. Yeah. But yeah, growing up golfing, I got really under the plane, really flippy swing, and that tends to creep back sometimes. Even with the pause, it tends to creep back into my game, and I have a hard time fixing it. So yeah, a little bit of the push, a little bit of the, when I don't push it, a little bit of a over-exaggerating hook, kind of, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, a little bit of both, which is, we don't like to see 2 misses. I don't mind a little weak fade, but I don't want to see both. I really don't.
Yeah.
Come on, Remy. Pick one that
Yeah, you have so many good pieces in here, dude.
There's
just a couple little micro changes that we'll talk about that'll help. Maybe 2 more.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're going to keep the pause in, right? That's not.
I mean, most likely. If it came down to it where the pause was holding me back, like I would have to choose my golf career first over my social media carear. But
just completely rebrand everything.
The pause is, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if the people would like that one, but
nah, the pause is good. Pause is good.
you guys finish by the time I'm back?
Yeah, nice one. I think one more, Ben, and then we'll be good to get rocking. I'll show you a couple pieces.
Those are all some little draws, which, I don't mind a draw, but definitely prefer the fade nowadays.
Yep. Yeah, nice. And there's also you could get in a flow and hit some good shots right now, but what matters is when you're on the course.
Exactly.
What pops up. So I can definitely see the underplane. You don't do this as much with your iron, but I'm going to show you the driver video that I saw. A lot of times with the driver, from the top of your swing, your head and upper body tend to back away from the target.
Yeah.
So too much of the upper body bending back this way. Okay. Now, you don't do it as much with the irons. Like you're pretty clean there, but you can see here from about halfway down through.
Yeah. The head likes to creep back. Yeah,
likes to creep back. And when the head creeps back, maybe if you take your setup for a second, and then let's go up to the top and pause for a minute.
Okay. I
could do that.
It's like real slow. Real slow, make your head go away from the target.
Real slow, make my go away from
just
it?
real slow, you don't have to swing down. Now, as you would do that, the more your head would go back, the more the club wants to go under.
Okay, yeah.
So for you, I would associate head back, under plane.
That makes sense.
Bad push hook.
Okay.
Now, the opposite would be true. Go back up to the top and pause one more time. Now, theoretically, if you went your head forward, that would make the club come the most over plane.
Okay.
You with me on that?
Yeah, yeah.
So for you, anytime you get under plane, the first thing I would look at would be, am I going too far back this way?
Okay.
That would get me under plane, push hook, some contact issues.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
So that's like the root of it. Now, you, as we know, have a weak grip.
I do have a very weak grip, like a really weak grip. It's in the palms, like, yeah. It's really weak.
Now, I think that's okay. So does John Rahm, Colin Morikawa. These guys are pretty good golfers.
Yeah.
Bryson, lots of Hall of Famers. The thing is, with a weak grip, all things equal, your club face is going to want to be open. If you just did everything normal.
Yes.
Like, what does John Rahm do? What do all these guys do? Yeah, they do something to close it.
Yeah.
So the other reason I think that you go back in the first place is because your grip is weak, the face can get a little open, and part of you going back gives you time to square the face up.
Yeah.
So everything's correlated, right? Now, I think changing your grip would be a huge mistake.
Okay.
I think we keep it how it is.
Yeah.
You got a lot of golf coming up. I think we need to maybe talk a little bit about how to square the club face up, and then get you back on plane without you going back.
Okay.
I just want to show you quick, and then we'll get into hitting shots. The driver video. Most good drivers of the ball from the top of the backswing, their head, let's say when they start down, goes a little forward. There's a little shift, and then they go back about a half a head. Maybe 2-3 inches.
Really? Okay.
You, when you start down, which I'm going to show you, because you pause, like most golfers, when they don't pause, they go up and then they start going forward. But because you pause, you kind of take that shift out of play.
Okay, okay.
And so you go a whole head back.
Yeah.
Really far back.
Yeah.
Now that's great for power. That's great for power.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like getting under plane, this would make you the most under plane. So this is your driver swing, right? We can put one of these up here. And when you come down here, watch your head from here through. Look how far back you go.
Yeah, it it's like literally a foot that way.
It's as far back of any good player I've ever worked with.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It's inherently a good thing. Most golfers need more of it, but because you pause at the top, you don't have any of that shifting forward, I think it just gets a little exaggerated.
Yeah, we need to screenshot that and put it on the video. We'll put that in there. That's a good one.
I'll send you some of this
That's a good one.
And then from the down the line, just real quick, from the down the line, when your head goes back, this is when your driver swing gets under plane. So that under plane means swinging too far from inside.
Yeah.
Too far.
Not a problem that most golfers struggle with. Most golfers are the opposite, you would say, right?
Most everyone watching needs a lot of you're bad. A lot of you're overdone. They want to go more inside. But for you, you get a little bit too far under plane with the shaft. The shoulders stay a little bit too close and the head's a little bit
And this video is probably even a little better than normal. I normally get a little even more stuck, I would say.
Totally. You know? Yeah, there's degrees of this stuff where you can play better or worse.
Yeah.
But does that make sense conceptually?
It definitely makes sense. I have been struggling with that, like that swing. I've been struggling with that my whole life. Even without the pause, like since I'm so weak and since I kind of have a weak position at the top, I always have had to flip and manipulate like the club at impact a lot, and my body does a lot of bad things sometimes, and
And again, like zoomed out, you are great at it. Your swing is unbelievably good. We're talking about a micro thing, but let's see if we can clean that up a little bit, kind of firm up the contact. So we're going to go the simple route first, something that I think you can do when you're by yourself on the range and stuff, and kind of go back to, and then I'll kind of guide you through how the body motions work. So let me just grab I'm going to grab a fancy training aid over here for us. One thing I would do, Ben, you could take your setup there. One thing I would do to keep things simple is have something that you can athletically respond to not have the club under plane. This would be like, we can maybe show a picture of like Tommy Fleetwood would do drills like this, Vijay Singh, for decades on tour. So this isn't something you're trying to like graduate out of, but something that you can practice and get better at over time. Now, when you swing too far inside, you want to have an object back in here that you have to get the club in front of. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So take your setup where you feel comfortable. I'm going to use this water bottle. This costs what? I don't know, $5?
Hopefully it doesn't cost much. This might be in danger.
So I'm going to take this just underneath your shaft plane. I'm going to move it back about 2 fingers, so about 1 inch, and I'm going to move it back probably in line with your right foot.
All right.
So this now is going to be our training aid. So like from the down the line angle, if you make your downswing, put your hands on the club, Ben. If you make your downswing and you were to come like way too far inside, obviously that
I'm gonna hit that.
It would
Yeah.
hit that. So for you, you're gonna feel from the top like the club's gonna be kind of like you're gonna hit a pull cut.
Yeah.
A little bit back in
pull
front
cut.
like that.
Awesome. I like
And
pull cuts.
Our goal, like I would say when you go golf, this push draw shot, this pull draw shot, like a ball that starts on line or slightly left with a little cut,
Yeah.
right, would kind of be our ideal.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm playing my best golf when I'm hitting a little cut. Just
Little cut
I'm way more consistent. My bad days are way better. Yes. Just like I want that straight
Easier.
ball to a little cut all day long.
So let's do this first, Ben. You said you have what, 6 iron?
Yeah, I have a 7-iron here.
Why don't you just pop one out with a pitching wedge?
Okay.
We'll kind of work our way up
Yep.
here, level
Yep.
1. So take your setup to that golf ball. I'm going to move the ball, and let's
Okay.
just make 1 or 2 practice swings where you clip the mat where that
Okay.
water bottle's in your way. Just a slight sensation of the club being
All
more
right.
in front of you on the way down.
Yep.
Pull fade.
Yeah, that was definitely a pull fader. I don't know if it would have faded, but it was a pull.
Yeah. I think for you, let me just see one from down the line. The big key is getting rid of that ball that launches too far to the right. Now, there's a way to do this where it could be this simple. We have this object here, and you're going to athletically respond to getting the club in front by not tilting back too much.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah.
If not, I'm going to physically make you not do it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
let's see here.
All right.
This is pitching wedge. I would say we'll hit about 5 like this. I'm going to make this slightly harder because it's in your way.
Okay.
Or because that's a pitching wedge a little bit easier.
All right.
So we'll still pause at the top. We'll keep that in
Yep.
there. And then just maybe 50% speed here, Ben.
Okay.
Feeling a little bit of a
just
pull.
make sure I don't hit that bottle.
Yeah, just 50% speed. Doesn't have to be perfect on the first swing. Awesome. So that's that's probably a 10-yard overcut.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good. You did that correct. Let's do it again.
Felt so much different than whatever I've been doing recently, though. Like that was hard to do.
Yeah.
I feel like a couple months ago that wouldn't have been, but sometimes, your golf swing just gets into weird little things. Sometimes that happens.
Totally. Golf swing requires constant maintenance, man.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Same feel.
Okay.
That a baby. That's an overcut again.
Yeah, that's almost a shank.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
the goal here when you do this, just to show you, we want to have something different than normal, right? What's our problem? Our problem is push hook. So okay, if I'm doing something different, I'm overdoing, I should kind of overcut a couple in the beginning.
Yes,
So that would be
for
normal.
sure.
So for you, there's the bottle underneath your shaft. Shouldn't even be close to in your way.
No,
It shouldn't even be close, right? Now when you make your swing, here's you up to the top. Now you notice how the club's much more in front. Mm-hmm. See how that gets right back on plane? Not dumped under at all.
No, it's not. That's a little bit more like what my swing looked like when I was hitting it better a couple months ago,
Now,
to be honest.
we know you have a weak grip.
Yeah,
We know the face wants to get a little open. I said before, man, you tilt back to help square that.
Yeah.
Right now, when you're getting the club on plane, the face is still a little bit too open, which is why the ball's overcutting to the right. So kind of step 2 of this is if the club's on plane and I'm not going to tilt back, I probably have to do something sooner on the way down to close the face a little.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to talk to you about as well is I've always felt like since my weak grip, since I have that weak grip and since I have that kind of weak position at the top, when I'm on plane, it ends up being a lot more of a fade than someone with a neutral grip.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a weaker ball flight, and that's always been something that I've struggled with. And I don't know if I need to bow a little bit or what, but
yeah.
it's been a little bit like, if I'm on plane, it tends to be a little bit of an overfade. There's this happy medium where it's barely under, but I want to get to a point where I could be on plane and actually hitting the ball straight.
100%. Yeah, and so what I would advise is keep getting on plane.
Okay.
And solve the face open weak part of it.
Yeah.
And how would we do that is by closing the club face more.
Okay.
Lots of ways to do that. I wouldn't do it with grip. I'd keep that the same.
Yeah. I've tried to change my grip in the past, and it'll normally end up being a month thing, and then I'm just I can't. I just can't do it.
It can feel the worst.
Yeah,
It's
because
tough.
I've been golfing with a weak grip my whole life.
Totally.
My whole life, and I've been golfing since I was 3 years old. So it's
Doesn't need
those
to
are
change.
ingrained. Yeah, those are ingrained. I can't change my grip.
It's our only connection to the club. It would feel the weirdest.
Yeah.
So to close it, you've kind of got 2 options.
Okay.
We could do it on the way to the top. That's an option.
Yep.
Or you can do it right when you start down.
Okay.
Or you can do it, throughout the downswing, but it's got to get closed at some point.
Okay.
I would like to see you do it when you start your downswing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Now, I believe if we stood here and hit 100 balls, you would start to probably naturally do it as you see the ball overcutting, right? But for the sake of, we're not going to do an hour and a half long video, you can feel from the top of your swing, you start, how you show me from the top of your swing, how would you start to close the club face?
The top of my swing.
What would you do when you start down?
like, I don't know, feel like I'm kind of tucking this elbow in, and then also this kind of wrist bows a little bit, and then that club face is closed.
Hold the club up towards me like this, and then make the toe in front of the heel. Just close it. That's what you would do.
Yeah.
That's what you would do to start down.
Yep. Awesome.
You do some sense of that. Now that's an option. Do you have to do it like that? No. Do most players? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have to? No. Maybe if you don't like doing it early, hey Eric, I don't like the way that feels. Totally fine. We could do it a little bit more at the bottom. At any point.
It's funny. I've never really thought about closing the club. I've always thought that whatever it is at the top is kind of like where it has to, like, that's what you're gonna have. You're not gonna be able to, like, you're gonna have to do whatever it impacts. But I've never really thought about on the way down, and that's just, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. Like, it actually makes so much sense that I could just from the top have my normal position that I'm at, and then with the rotation and with a little bit of, like, with a little bit of that feel, I could then get to where I want to be.
It's nice in theory to think, oh, I'll just close it here and then it's there forever. That's not reality. Even the most closed players, Dustin Johnson, will still close it a bunch on the way down.
Yeah. So
the thing is, when you were under plane, you didn't have to do it this way. It's just a different way to do the same thing. Let's test it. All this stuff should be working right away.
Okay.
Right? This is stuff that should work right away. So you have two jobs. One, get in front of the water bottle.
Miss the water bottle.
Yeah, that's point
that's
number
job one.
And then a little bit of closing the club face when you start down, and we'll play around with how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, kind of 50-60% speed to start with.
All right.
Take them with you to your bag. And then rub from your bag.
Good, so that's probably half as much cut.
Half as
before.
much cut. That was much better.
Okay,
that was
good.
much better.
So better, but still need more.
Yes. Yep.
Still need more, meaning more club face closure.
Yep.
It's funny how out of the way that water bottle actually is, but how in your way it would feel.
It feels. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna hit that. If I made a normal swing, I think I would hit that, but I might not. I don't know. It feels like it.
Totally.
There were some bad swings. I took some screenshots of my club. It was so far behind me, and it's like, I just hate that. I really hate that. So I'm glad I'm here.
As a good
Perfect
player,
timing.
you don't want that.
No, you don't want that. No,
You want the club more in front of you.
This video is perfect timing. Honestly, it really is.
Same feel, closing the club face early to start down, club on plane.
You're doing it again. That's what I'm saying.
That's closer. So that's probably now like a quarter as much cut. But here's the point too. What's that ball have no chance of doing?
Going left?
Overhooking.
Overhooking.
I mean, there's no chance of you hooking that shot.
There's also no chance of me hitting a big block because I'm on plane. I'm not
correct.
I'm not going that way.
So really, what we're trying to do here is like remove those misses that cause you problems.
Yeah.
You watch the best players in the world. They start the ball very online.
Oh yeah.
And then it just peels a little. Most of them just peels a little to the right.
Mm-hmm.
When you're hitting balls and it's starting 5-10 yards right and curving too much, that's where your big misses come from.
Yes, 100%.
So why don't we do one more with that?
Okay.
Feeling the club on plane. Atta baby, awesome. In fact, let's do one more. I'm going to video one more so you can see.
Awesome.
And once you get into it and start feeling it, like these should feel compressed. They should feel solid. It'll take a couple swings to get used to. And like most amateur golfers watching that come too far out, they would need the opposite of this.
They would need to put their water bottle here.
Yeah, exactly. And swing underneath it.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. Yeah. This is a bend problem.
This is a bend problem.
So club's on plane, closing it early. Yeah, that's so good right there, dude.
That feels so much better already. Like,
yeah, it's dialed.
That feels so much better already than it was.
So our goal here, if you would put a swing on the screen, you do a line up the shaft.
Yep.
Right up the shaft. Good players will keep it pretty much on that on the way back, but they'll certainly keep it on it from like hip high into impact. That's what we're searching for. So when you're if you're watching your swing, that's what you're going for. So here's Ben up to the top. Backswing is 10 out of 10. Absolutely no adjustments required. When you come down here, now see how that club's much more on plane. Boom. And it's still even there. It's still it could still be a touch more on top.
It could be a touch more on top.
And that's because from face on of the tilting back that we didn't do yet.
Yeah, okay.
Right? This is an easy practice station, no brainer. You should probably do this forever.
I should do this for as long as I golf. Yeah.
It's like the Tommy, there's a classic one. Just give me 20 seconds, see if I can find this picture real quick. If not, we'll move on. There's a Tommy Fleetwood picture. He does this practice station that if you watch him on tour, he's got the plane station and the object outside of the ball. And he's been doing that for like a decade on tour. I'll send it to you afterwards.
Doesn't VJ Scene also do something similar? He's been doing that forever, right? I played Sawgrass a few years back, and he was just on the range. That said he hits balls like all day.
Yep.
And he does that drill like all day long. Just puts a water bottle. I think it was kind of same thing.
So this is his practice station. So there's an alignment rod up his hip and the object, so he keeps the club in front of it. This would be great for you.
I mean, that might be a
Looks
little
hard,
advanced.
right?
Yeah, that was pretty hard.
I think with enough reps, I probably wouldn't even need to say anything. And you, like with your driver too.
Yeah.
You just to get the club in plane, you're very likely going to not tilt back like automatically. Okay. Take your setup, Ben. Let me just see if I need to adjust that bottle a smidge. So right in about there is pretty good. It's going to feel in your way, but in reality, it's like, that's just so far out of your way, it's not even funny.
Feel the club going, closing on downswing.
Yeah. And again, that's like option A.
Yeah.
We could close it a little later. We could play around when. There's no rules.
We could play around with at the top. Yeah. Okay.
There is no correct. Just different ways. So let's keep the same target. I see you here, Ben. You're lined up kind of between the right edge of the building and the clock.
The right edge of the building. Okay. That's kind of
where we're aimed.
That's good.
Yep. Club's on plane, closing it earlier.
Right. No, yeah. We're gonna go from first one.
Good.
That one I felt a little awkward on. Like that one I felt a little like late, kind of trying to close it, but it never really happened.
So it'll take a swing or two to get adjusted to a little bit of a longer club.
Yeah, yeah.
Atta baby, nice, Ben. Gosh, that's good. See, like when you do that and get the club on plane, you have the ability to hit the ball as good as like anyone in the world.
Just straight. Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking really good, dude.
Thank you.
That is really good.
That's how the game was feeling. I'm gonna be honest, this last like month has been weird because I was hitting it so well.
Yeah.
So well, like really well. And like with every club, I wasn't seeing any foul balls. I was hitting the irons really solid. I was just putting poorly and shooting 70s. And now it's like, now I'm just starting to strike the ball a little bad. And
no, you're gonna get back to that. Your swing is this close to being unbelievable.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, that is so good right there. That's probably realistically about 6 feet right of where you're actually aimed.
Yeah, and they've all kind of been in that little spot, but I think that just becomes with not closing it enough.
And very straight. So now here, watch this from face on. This, I'm going to show you the head not backing up as much.
So it's not doing as much right now.
No, watch this. Backswing's 10 out of 10. Never change anything with that.
Thank you.
There's your little shift forward to left arm parallel. And now from here, watch your head probably goes back now maybe 2 inches.
Wow, it really isn't as much.
Very little.
Which I'm kind of shocked about. Yeah. Normally, she'll literally stand there with a stick, right? Which is right in my head.
We're gonna do that next. Yeah.
Sorry about that, but yeah, she'll stand there and I'll bang it, like I'll hit it. You know, it's tough for me to get that feel of not moving my head.
Yeah.
But it's coming from different things, which is like good for me to hear. I've only ever heard that I just need to work on my head. You know, I need to keep that still. But there's other things you could do to counteract that.
Oh yeah.
To not make your head move, which is like, you know,
and
that's awesome.
I think part of that, I know a part of that is because when your face a little open, you back out to help square it.
Yeah.
So that to me is why your brain doesn't like fix it. It's you have to feel like you're closing it enough to be able to feel those covering feels. And like for you from the top, from the body, take your setup there, Ben. Let's go to the top and pause. Here are things that you're gonna wanna do, like stay in these lanes. For you, feeling like you open your chest and shoulders is good. Okay. That's always gonna be like good for you, up to the top. You feeling your chest and shoulders stay closed as you swing down is bad for you.
Yeah.
Most of you guys need the exact opposite of that. You would feel like your chest and shoulders open.
Yeah.
You might feel like your head goes forward, right, this way.
Yeah.
You might feel like your trail shoulder really gets on top of it and covers it.
Okay.
All of those for you over the next couple of years would be like in the correct path.
Yes.
You trying to do any of the opposite of that's probably dangerous.
Not good. Yeah, me trying to feel like I'm, there's no need for any of that.
Bad news.
Yes.
But the point is, if all you need to do is put a water bottle there.
Yeah, that's
simplified.
Simple, but like great at the same time. I'm not someone who, I've never been like a technical, mechanical golfer by any means. I'm very much a feel player.
Yeah. Was
growing up, and like if you could just give me like 1 to 2 things to do all the time, help me more than anything else would. Like it really would. Yeah, I want to be able to go home and like put a water bottle there and hit like 200 balls a day and just like rinse, repeat, like just ingrain it. I think
that's exactly what you're going to get here. One more at the 6-iron. Club on plane, we're feeling like we're closing it early. Yeah, very nice, Ben.
If those are my misses, like a little falling cut, like I'm really a happy guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as you get into longer clubs too, do you want to do something a little longer?
Yeah, we could do something longer.
Just to play around, because it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same stuff here.
For sure.
Maybe like
4-iron?
Yeah, something a little bit longer into your longer clubs. Because I'd love to see you hit shots eventually where, like, if we add this in, I'd really love to see you have some start line awareness, have a little drill, and then just be athletic with it.
Okay.
Oh, noodle on the loose. So, like, let's say realistically this mat aims you a little right. Like, if you come back here, we're probably really more at the clock.
Okay.
Right? So the goal would be, let's say we had this in front for your start line. I would like for you to, like, really launch the ball on line, like, straight, and then it just falls right. So this for you would probably be a really nice practice station.
So just like feel like I'm starting at left of that? Yeah.
So the club's got to get in front of that bottle.
Okay.
But this has to start, which when you stand next to the ball isn't going to look that bad, because next to the ball, the angle, this will look to the right.
Yeah.
When you look from back there.
But it's going to be a lot closer than I think.
Yeah. From back here, that looks like, whoa, I don't have much room.
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of see, like, that's just right of that, that thing. Ben, if you hit 50 balls like this a couple days a week for the next decade, I don't think you need to do anything other than how exactly am I square in the face?
Okay.
That'd be like the only variable.
Yeah, awesome. Do you want me to still leave that there? Even though it's a 4-iron, you don't want to move it around?
I'm going to see if I'm going to move it a little.
Okay.
You nervous about it?
Well, with the 4-iron
a little bit. Same deal.
All right.
So just before you hit, Ben, I would say, like, you'd kind of look at this window as like, okay, this is kind of where I'm launching it.
Okay.
And if you were trying to launch it here, you would never tilt back and swing right.
Nope.
If anything, you'd feel like, hey, I'm going to really cover it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to almost like I'm kind of launching over
like
here.
Pulling it, just like a really like a pull motion. Like my shoulders are just really getting activated, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
The best players that you see that play like on TV that hit cuts, they don't hit push cuts.
No.
John Rahm, Scotty, Colin Morikawa, the ball starts left and then it fades back. I think for you with the fade, it's getting the ball started on line.
Exactly.
Let's do 3 with this, same feels. Let me just make sure that looks good. That's so far out of your way, it's not even fun. Okay,
well, I'll swing like it's not.
You got club on plane, closing the club face.
All right.
Yes, Ben. That should be your, like, bad shot. That should be your bad shot.
Yes, and that's all. That's not gonna lose me any strokes either. That's gonna hit most greens, and
that should be your bad shot. That ball was a slight overcut, wasn't your best contact.
Nope. Yeah.
Totally fine.
Which at the beginning, I'm probably gonna maybe contact it a little bit, but I'll get right back to it. Like just because I am swinging from a couple
swings.
Yeah, like I saw with the pitching wedge, it was the first 2 were bad, then the rest of them I don't think I missed a shot. So
now you amateur golfers watching, it might take a little longer, but Ben up here, I think this will take only 2 or 3 swings. Clubs in front, closing the club face early. Yes, Ben, beautiful job. That is exactly the ball flight you want to see here. Ball started just right of the target, curved a little bit too far right. Beautiful miss.
But like that miss,
for the moment.
And the contact was a little better there too, so that one felt good.
Signs of success is you hit 0 draws.
I want to get draws out of my game completely, honestly. Like
very straight.
When I need to, maybe once in a while, but like I don't like hitting draws. A lot of tour guys just don't hit draws either. Like John Rahm never hits a draw. Colin Morikawa, I very rarely see hit a draw, and
Scotty to hit a draw has to make the wildest swing. The ball goes pretty straight. No, this is good for you.
All right.
One more club on plane, square the face. Yes, Ben, good. That ball, you did a better job of starting it on line.
Yeah.
Kind of stays straight to the left there. Now, from a body feel perspective, I think what you guys were doing is correct. Like, that's a good way to do it.
Okay.
With the club over. Like, she's a good coach. So, I mean, obviously, if you were practicing, you could have an object that would stay over here. You got to hit it back. But I would be feeling things for you, like, if you want some body feels, my head and chest are moving kind of down, forward, and left. That right shoulder feels like it maybe stays a little high as it moves forward this way, right?
Yep.
Like if I was going to take some of the, exactly.
Yep.
Any of those feels were like, if you, let me have the clubs for a second, and then I want you to hold your right hand out like this in front of you, take your golf posture, hold your right hand like this. So I kind of want you to get to the point where you make a backswing and get down to my hand with your head and shoulder feeling forward and left. You feel that?
Yeah.
So it's like very on top of it. That's very covering it. That's the opposite of your issue. Your issue, go to the top again, would be you go that way.
Yeah.
So your hand would be way
Side
back there.
bend back here, head going back, everything going the wrong way.
And then you'd be like, how you get to your hand is trying to really throw your handle.
Yeah, it's a stuck feeling. And like, so all these shots, I may not be hitting them perfect, but I have not felt stuck on a single one of them. Like a single one of them, which is like, thank gosh. Like yesterday I was I felt stuck on every shot I hit all day long. It's such an uncomfortable feeling.
That's gonna go away. Give me two more.
It's going away. Oh yeah, for sure.
Up to the top, shoulder and chest go forward. Exactly. If anything, you feel your right shoulder stay kind of high. That's exaggerated, but that's the point. Chest opens, heads forward. All these feels for you for probably ever, at least for the short term, right?
Since they're so ingrained, right? Since I golfed that way my whole life, they're so ingrained. I need to keep feeling
the same stuff.
Yes, yep.
I think the alternative route is like maybe doing some other stuff with your club face, but that could lead down a dark hole, dude.
Yeah.
I would leave that go. And then the only other quick thing I want to tell you is like, we've only been squaring it early in the downswing. On paper, that's kind of the nice way to do it. But you could, if you go up to the top, take your setup. If we wanted to square it a little later, go up to the top, kind of come down normal to about here. You don't have to square the face. You could also, if you wanted from time to time, feel like you have a little bit more of closing the club face from there to about there.
Okay.
Now some guys get real nervous. Oh my God, Eric, isn't that going to add more timing? Can I square it at the bottom? A lot of Hall of Famers do that too. That would be an option.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling stuck one day, you're having a bad day, totally okay. For you to feel like you're squaring it through the ball a little bit. Totally, totally fine. But I think you kind of like the earlier part.
Yeah, oh for sure, for sure. I definitely would like to get to be more consistent, less timing based.
Cool. Let's do one more 4-iron. And you might just feel a little bit of that kind of high right shoulder, head and chest forward.
All right, this one just feel a little bit more of that?
Yeah, yep.
Exaggerate it?
A little bit exaggerated. Clubs on
Let's see a real pull cut here. Let's see one of those.
I don't know if you got one of those in you. Let's see what you can do. Pull cut. Yeah, good.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
oh, I
close.
love that. It didn't cut like a lot, but it was like, it felt
right,
really
2-yard
good.
cut into a right.
It felt like my shoulder was so activated in the swing. Like it never feels like that. Normally it's just all hands. That one, I felt like my shoulder stayed so much higher.
Yeah.
And it realistically might have been that much.
1/16 of an inch.
Yeah, but it felt like it.
That's
it felt like it, which is all that matters.
Yeah. So like most golfers, if this gets in, you guys are watching this, most of you guys need to feel like your shoulder's kind of more down, probably a little back, swing from inside. You need some of that. For you, Ben, you would feel almost like your right shoulder's, level with your left, very high and forward.
Opposite from a lot of amateur golfers, yeah.
And that's pitching wedge, 7-iron, 4-iron, driver, you could do the same thing.
Yeah.
3-wood, 60 yards, like all through the back.
Okay.
All through the back, this drill's good for you. A little bit of body, chest and shoulder forward, club on plane. Yeah, awesome, dude. That is like precisely what I picture in my mind when I see you golfing, where you're like, Eric, I hit this 4 on this hole. It wasn't 10 out of 10, but I hit it maybe 15 feet right, slightly short, wasn't my best shot, and I hit a green in regulation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like picturing.
100%. When I'm playing great golf, that's what my misses 100% are. And one thing I wanted to also talk to you about, I was noticing a lot of like off balance finishes, like follow throughs in the last couple days, last month or so. But like I haven't felt off balance since I started doing this, and I think that's because I'm probably not, I'm not falling back. I'm not, getting my side bend isn't as bad. Like I'm following through on my front foot and just like holding the finish a lot better than I was. So
yeah, and I think when your balance goes off, it's like your upper body and lower body are going in different directions.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's hard to balance.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when they're both going in one direction.
Okay. Yeah. 100%.
So I wouldn't make it any more complicated than this. Like
I just make it simple. Yeah. Simplify. I'm a simple thinker. I want to make it as simple as possible, and this is like perfect.
You're a simple guy, then.
I'm a very simple guy.
And this is really honestly, like if we were gonna do, like back in the day, I was gonna do a lesson with you once a week, we would do this exact thing for the next like 50 weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
And just like little tiny.
So now I'll just go home and do this and send you videos of me doing it. Make sure everything is still looking
And just
good.
go play and be an athlete.
Yep.
Chest and shoulder high and through. Dude, the rest of your swing is so good that you should reap the rewards of doing this like
instantly.
Yeah, and also like when we take this drill away and you're gonna do like a % of this, I'd rather you do the drill, over exaggerate a little, so that when it's gone, you're gonna be in a nice middle ground.
Yes. I love that. I actually love that the way you think there, because that's kind of like what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Let's do one more good one.
All right.
club on plane.
Exaggerated here.
Yep. I also think when you hit like a little push cut, or I'm sorry, when you try and hit like a pull cut, I bet this week when you golf, that's going to essentially be your sensation.
Yeah.
Upper body forward, hit a pull cut, and the ball's going to go pretty straight.
Pretty straight, yeah. Maybe like a 1 yard cut, but it's going to be, and it's going to start on line. It's not going to start left. It's going to, my pull cut is a dead straight ball, honestly.
Starts straight and falls 2 yards to the right.
Yeah.
And I think to clarify anything else, Ben, it's like part of a great session like this is like, here's what I should do, and here's what I shouldn't do. Like, you should change nothing with your setup. You should not change your grip.
Okay.
You shouldn't do anything on the way back. Like, all that stuff is great. Your only area is how do I start down with my body and club, and how do I do my club face closing.
Awesome.
What a good swing, huh? Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That ball almost couldn't fly any straighter.
That was very straight. Yeah, that was awesome.
I like it.
Well, yeah, that was honestly simple, awesome stuff, like to the point, on the dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna help a lot. I'm gonna be doing this drill quite a bit in the next couple of weeks. I mean, forever, probably.
Yeah.
Because this tendency is never gonna wanna leave, but yeah.
Yeah, it never
Awesome
goes
stuff.
away. And I think just a big disclaimer, at some point, maybe you guys put this on text in there, like normal golfers do the opposite of this.
Yeah.
Ben style golfers, this is a good.
Yeah, normal golfers, 95, what would you say?
99.9.
99.9% of amateur golfers struggle with the opposite. So this is for the 0.01% of you guys.
Yeah.
But everyone can learn something, I think, from this, because it's possible to get into different bad habits. But yeah, second part of the video, a little more detailed stuff, maybe some more club face stuff. I don't know what you're...
Yeah, I think we'll do some mechanics, and I just want to double down on, like, you got the goods, dude. Like, when you get this in here, you're going to hit it as good as anyone in the whole world. So
Thank you.
I think it'll be exciting for us to watch you go play some pro golf and kick some
Appreciate
ass.
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Well, thanks, Eric.
You got it.
Hey,
Appreciate you.
Go subscribe to his channel. There's going to be a video on there of me as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it.